Hey everybody, it's Jamie from Plum Island Sea Cabin, and we are not on Plum Island today. So I've been getting some emails on sea glass and people are interested in sea glass. And I got a hot tip on a local beach, so we're gonna go check it out. This beach is loaded with rocks, which is the perfect environment to tumble us some awesome sea glass. So let's go sea glassing. We are at Dane Street Beach in Beverly, Mass, and we are looking for some frothy sea glass today. So the tide is starting to come in right now. But this is typically what it looks like here. It's a heavily populated beach in the summer, so a lot of glass probably goes in the water here, beer bottles, soda bottles, and over the years gets tumbled. It takes about 50 to 100 years, depending on the location and the type of glass it is, to become sea glass and become that smooth, frothy goodness that we're always looking for. Some really big pieces of kelp washing up here. Huge pieces of kelp. For those of you who don't live by the ocean and don't have a chance to experience kelp, it feels very rubbery and plasticky. It actually feels exactly how it looks. There's a lot of broken shells here, but that's usually the way it goes when you're sea glassing because there's usually a lot of rocks on sea glass beaches. That is usually the name of the game when it comes to sea glasses. Either you find sea glass, an abundance of sea glass, but you find a bunch of broken shells, or you find a lot of great shells and not a lot of sea glass. So it's usually you get one or the other. So here is a good sea glass test for you. There is a nice piece of clear here that I almost walked by. So it's a good sized chunk of clear sea glass that is right in my camera view. I'm going to get it in just a moment before the water comes in and sweeps it away. But I almost did walk by this. That is a really nice piece of clear sea glass. That is a score. Very nice. Very cute moon snail buried in the sand. If I see anything in here, there's a piece of green. I don't know if it's done yet. Looks like it was a piece of a bottleneck. Nice and round, no sharp edges. We will add this to the sea glass collection. A very small piece of sea glass here. Give you a chance to look, see if you see it. Looking for that iridescent, translucent look, and it is right here. That is a good little piece. A nice little piece of sea glass. We're going to collect a bunch of this today, and I will show you what it all looks like once we get a pile of it going. Because one piece of sea glass is nice, but a pile of sea glass is bonkers. There's sea glass all over this beach. Really cool frosty pieces of sea glass that we're finding. So let's press on and see what else this beach has to offer. A lot of really good pieces down here. What I like about them is even though they're small, they're very smooth and very easy to spot in all the rocks. So this stuff is really good for filling those small mason jars and putting them on windowsills so that it catches the sunlight. Very interesting rocks here. Looks like there's some smoky quartz mixed into that. I'm hoping to find some sea pottery today as well. I know this beach is good for not only sea glass, but also sea pottery. Cute little basket whelk. Nice size basket whelk here. Some periwinkles. A lot of periwinkles that are washing up in the rocks. Some more of this interesting rock. Very cool colors in there. What's interesting to me is, and I've talked to a few other shellers about this, is when you are used to looking for sand dollars or different types of shells, there's a tendency when you start looking for something new like sea glass, you don't automatically see it in the beginning because your eyes really aren't trained on what to look for. So it's hard readjusting your mindset and also your vision to stop focusing on the shells, but to now focus for sea glass. So this is where the water is feeding in, and you can see there's a ton of rock and a ton of shells that are here. So I'm hoping that this will be a good location to score some sea glass. And I just looked down here, and this is what I mean where I say that you kind of have to train your eyes. So in this shot right here, there is some sea glass mixed in with a bunch of rocks. And it's a green color piece of sea glass. But when you give it a quick glance, it just looks like a rock. So this is where the training comes in for your eyes. So you have to look at it as you're looking for something that's a little bit translucent and a little bit iridescent. And that is that piece right here. So this is a very nice piece of greenish sea glass. Very frothy. Corners are all nice and rounded out. We can rinse this in the water. But you can see how it looks like a rock. So let's give this a good rinse. And you can see here, nice piece of sea glass. So we're looking through all the shells. There's a ton of surf clams and blue mussels in here, and there is a cool piece of sea glass here. And has some writing on it. So corners are all rounded out, nice and frothy. There is some writing on there. I don't know if you can see it. See if we hold it up to the light. Some good bottle markings on there. We'll take it home later and see if we can figure out what type of bottle this came from. But it is a good piece of sea glass because one, the corners are rounded on it, nice and smoothed out by the ocean. It's a nice frothy piece, and all the stamped markings and text on the bottom are clues on the history of it. So we might be able to tell where this came from. So we'll take a look. We'll check it out later when we get home. Let the investigation begin. Another nice piece here. There's a bigger piece up here. And even the rocks here are very interesting. I mean, look at this. Finding a lot of really good beach treasures here today, so I'm pleased that we decided to take this trip and do a little exploring. Another cute piece of amber. Cute piece of amber sea glass. Nice and smooth and round. And we do have some surf clams here. Not quite as large as Plum Island. Whew. These are probably about a little over 4 inches. So not quite as large as Plum Island. Plum Island we usually get surf clams that are about 7 inches plus. And a cute little quahog here. Still hinged. A lot of these washing up here too. No purple wampum inside. Tide is definitely coming in, but I see a piece of green there that I want to grab without getting completely soaked. It's a nice piece of green sea glass. It was worth almost getting wet over. More interesting rocks. Couple pieces of sea glass here. And you can see just in this selection, you have the light color green sea glass, the more saturated green sea glass, and a dark brown piece of sea glass. And we found a couple of other pieces that were amber today, which are nice. I'll show you those in a little while once we clean them all up. Here's one of those cool pieces of pottery that I was telling you about that tend to wash up on this beach. Nice piece of sea pottery there. Here's a piece of pottery. Very cool piece of sea pottery with that paint still on it and worn around the edges. Hit a good little pocket of glass here. Here's one here. There's one over here. They look really iridescent the way that the light hits them in the water. Flat oysters with the purple on it. Little moon snail. Little moon snail down here. Cute little one. No huge ones, no humongo ones that we find on the island though. There's a little piece of blue. It is not done yet, so I'm going to put that back. But blue is like one of the most rare pieces of sea glass you can find. So I always get a little bit excited when I find one. But again, it's not done, so we're going to push this one back. Let it get a little bit more rounded. It's a nice piece of light orange. Good piece of amber. Look at the blues in that. It's another very cute piece of sea pottery. I don't know if you see it down there. Little triangle. Right there. Very cute piece of sea pottery. Today's finds. Look at all this great sea glass. Some really good pieces in here. Okay, this one. There's a little bit of writing on it. Some aqua. Some really cool pieces of pottery.